Hello there, humans, hippies, earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough indeed to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be doing part 2, DOS in the house, of the interview with OCHO, the Senior Community Manager from PUBG Mobile. And you're going to get to see the stunning conclusion of what is an FPP demolition of us, of the enemy. Who can say? Watch until the end and pump those units. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. It's been a real privilege to have a little run with OCHO. And if you have anything that you want to know about in the PUBG Mobile multiverse, leave a message in the comments below and I'll try and hook up with OCHO and do another one of these Q&As and hopefully hit him with some of those daggers that you guys pop downstairs. See you at the end of the video. What is the biggest challenge you reckon that you come up against on a day-to-day basis? Like the thing, not necessarily that as a company, but for you personally working with Tencent, what's the biggest thing that you come across?
Today I'm gonna give one answer, which is, it's a 24-hour business. We have teams all over the world in every time zone. I'll be talking to somebody in Europe in the same day that I'm talking to somebody in China. I work in North America. And so keeping all of that coordinated across, 24 different time zones with all sorts of languages being spoken, this is not easy. Coordinating an effort on that scale. Same sort of thing. So we divide up the world into regions. From just a purely practical standpoint, because I know what works really well in social on most of the world, but I don't know anything about VK in Russia, for instance. So it's better to have a Russian community specialist who understands, how the Russian community gives feedback, can understand them a lot better. What people want in Indonesia is not necessarily entirely identical to what people want in North America. How do we throw events that are designed to be appealing to people all over the world? How do we create videos that are appealing to people all over the world? And there are occasional misses. Our marketing team had a great idea for a commercial, and I'm like, that's just not going to work in, North America or Europe because the humor is not going to translate.
Yeah.
So just this level of coordination, both internally and externally, is a constant challenge. How long is a downtime going to be? Who's translating that? Because most of my my engineers primarily speak Chinese. They all speak English, but there are varying degrees of comfort in English.
Is the engine, so to speak, based around China? Like in terms of the dev?
So the core development team is in China. Tencent originated in China. And so a lot of the sort of corporate DNA and the huge talent base is there. We have development teams elsewhere, but it's that is our HQ. That is home, and it's an amazing office. So I have meetings with China all the time, and so one of my coworkers says, "Hey, meetings tend to go a few minutes late." And I'm like, what do you mean it means start late? And he's like, well, you don't understand what the elevators are like. So I went out to what do you call it? Thank you. I went out to HQ and I got to take the elevators, and taking the elevator from the ground floor to the 17th floor, which was where my part of the marketing team sits, was a 15-20 minute journey because there's 20,000 people working in this building, and this is not our only building. So it's 20,000 people working in the building, or 10,000 people working in the building in Shenzhen that I was in.
20,000 people. I was watching a movie the other night, and it was Tencent was on the start of it. I was like, "What? Seriously?" Like,
oh yeah, we have a film division.
Self-driving car division. That's amazing. I can't have 15 minutes of wandering around the desert looking for love.
Since I play entirely with randoms, hot dropping is scary because I don't know if people are going to drop with me. They will literally say they're going to drop with me. They'll put their marker on the same spot I put my marker. They'll be following people, jump out of the plane, they'll hit unfollow and go somewhere else. Or they will clearly have never seen a gun before. So these are all sort of the things which means that, I tend to, play a little bit more conservatively. Plus, I'm old and slow.
Well, I'm old and slow too, mate, but old age and treachery can do wonders to a man's win rate. Like the official PUBG Mobile tournaments and things, you play them on, you're not allowed to play on iPads. Like who decides, what kind of a device is set? And how far out from things is that decided? Because obviously phones are released all the time. All devices are released.
Part of it is we look for a good partner, but we don't want to have a partner who has a phone that the game is not going to perform well on, right? I mean, the number one thing is a good game experience, showing off the game well. So we find a good partner who makes a great phone. We've been really happy with our partner for PMCO. They're great people. Yeah. But I don't think there's a moral issue, it's just let's have it balanced. Let's have it reflective of, as a sport, the experience that most people have.
So you must have people too who look at the maps and look at hot points as where is the busiest part of the map and all that kind of thing. Do you balance flight paths and things based on that?
Not so much. There's some of that, but what you find is and this stunned me, we have, say 50 million people logging in every day. An enormous amount of people never get beyond, silver. Enormous. And so if we're balancing around maps, the way people play maps in silver is not the same way people play maps in, say, ace. Are we balancing for the bulk of people, or are we balancing for, the top 1% who also happen to be the most vocal? So a lot of it is when things are not right, when we see problems in the map, we're going to change it. Not necessarily hugely with the map itself, but maybe with how loot spawns or something like that. There's so many games in PUBG Mobile. There's the tournament competitive play. So, you were talking earlier about, playing with Zute at the Superstar Showdown. He's playing a different game than I am. Absolutely. Or if you look at the PMCO finals, which I thought were absolutely amazing, they're playing a different game than I am. I shouldn't be trying to do the same things that they do. I shouldn't be copying their play style because it won't work. At the level I'm playing and against the people I'm playing against.
The thing that I find fascinating with the whole arcade mode and everything, is there any reason, I guess, that is it to do with the player spread, why you can't get FPP in arcade and stuff?
A lot of it is just who's playing, arcade modes. Does it really make sense, for war mode, for instance, to have a first-person perspective option? And there's a lot of data that goes into this. It's not, just opinions. It's kind of like, and I'm going to say the word, and people are going to get all freaked out. Companions.
Yes. Oh my God. Please, let's talk about companions. I want to go viral.
if you look at Reddit, companions are the worst thing ever. Facebook is moderately fond of companions, and Twitter is, hey, look, I found a bird.
Yeah.
Right? But when you look at game data, people's drop patterns changed the second they found out where companions were. People are like, dude, I'm going out and getting that bird. And they're not getting the bird once or twice. They're getting the bird over and over again. So clearly, there is a level of interest in the bird. People are like, cool, I can go get a bird.
Why do you think people have that obvious logical fallacy that if there are companions, it's taking away from something else? Like if there weren't companions, then X, Y, Z would be fixed. Like the same people work on companions that work on, the skins for an M24. Like they're not the same people, are they?
No, of course not. I get that. People tell me all the time, like, stop tweeting and go fix bugs. And I'm like, you don't want to code it.
Yeah.
People want things fixed, right? And if they're not interested in something, the new infection mode has had people really like it or people really dislike it. People are like, well, why'd you do that? People are like, well, don't spend any time on that. Spend all your time on something else, especially since resources aren't limited. And I get it. But, if we don't try new things out, if we don't do different things, if we don't say, hey, what's interesting here, then the game's going to get really stale. Like TDM mode was a huge success. That's not something that we knew 100% like going in, like people are going to love this. And it makes a lot of sense that they do. But it's really good. People really like TDM. I don't love TDM. Again, I want to play a sort of a slower paced game where I can jump off things and, hurt myself and, have a chance to recover. Yeah, so I mean, people care. They want to see the part of the game they want developed, and I don't blame them. That's great. Let us know. Be loud about it. Tell us exactly what you want. But understand that everybody's different. It's we can't develop the game for one play style, one group of customers, one idea. A lot of people are like, we should do this, and you need to get people in FPP. And I can understand they want more people to play against, and they enjoy it, and they think that it'd be great if more people tried it, and they had quicker queue times, things like that. And they're not wrong, but at the same time, there's a lot of people who just that's not what they're looking for, and we shouldn't be forcing it on them. People don't understand. Like, oh well, every time we release an outfit, it's not that resources are being taken away from bugs. That's how we generate the resource to fix bugs.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's something else that people don't seem to understand is that people have to work. People have to get paid a wage. Like the game doesn't exist in a mythical, everyone's going to do it for free universe. It's like there has to be a cash flow or there is no game.
Again, not to cry poor me. People love PUBG Mobile. We're the most popular game in the world. We're doing all right. But we do well without selling power.
Yeah, that's
and that is
really
a much
big
harder
thing.
way to make a living.
Yeah, it is.
It's the game we want to make, but it is not the easiest way to run a business.
No. I do admire that about PUBG Mobile because it is you can't buy like an extra 150 hit points. You just can't do it. It doesn't exist. Whereas there are a lot of games where that is how the revenue is generated.
Oh, yeah. No, and I mean, from a financial perspective, that is the most logical way to do it. People are happy to spend money on power, and they hate spending money on cosmetics. I've worked in the industry for more than 10 years. This is universally true. The amount of people who will ever spend money on cosmetics is very, very small. So we make the game that we want to make, that we're proud of making. We make the game. We make the game that you guys want to play, and we're really happy about that. But at the end of the day, we got to make the right choices for PUBG so we can keep making the game and keep the integrity that we want to preserve.
There's two people. There's two people in here, dude. I'm not even kidding.
And you pull out the victory. That is epic. They had to be there. I was like, where could they be? I never thought anybody would have been sitting in that little shed.
They were there for a long time. They must have been there forever. Yeah. Well, mate, go get your girl. Thank you so much for taking part. I can't wait to edit it. And Content Gold, you're a champion bloke. And thank you on behalf of the community for turning up and putting the time in. Your own time, by the way.
Cool. No problem. And I clearly carried.
Yes, what a carrying performance by the big OCHO. Thank you so much, OCHO, for running around with me in the long grass of Erangel in FPP, not TPP. We did play TPP for quite some time. OCHO's a TPP human, and he only came back for me so we could do the FPP at the end. Now, I will be pushing for a third installment with OCHO, and I'd really love to get feedback from you guys. So leave a comment below if you have anything particular that you want to talk to PUBG Mobile or get clarity on. This isn't about a vendetta or an agenda from anyone. I just think it's a beautiful thing to have access to one of the guys inside the machinery of PUBG Mobile who's also a nice human and takes the time out to make things happen for the community. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now.